All right, so my name is Nigeria Chambers of Big Gold Belt Media. Vincent, it's a pleasure to talk to you today. Longtime fan of yours. And this is going to be a fun interview. We're going to talk about your new film, but I'm going to let you know right now, I'm very, very upset with you, sir. You know why I'm upset
Uh-oh.
with you? Because you know damn well in the culture, it took me 35, 36 years and recently just being able to like muster up the
Candyman.
courage to get over Candyman. You
I
already knew where I
knew
was going with this. You already
it.
know. And for whatever reason, you're like, oh yeah, no problem. I'll just throw another classic in there. I'll just traumatize the next generation for the next 20, 30 years. No problem. Like, come on, dude. But nonetheless, no, Devilreaux, folks, check out his new film alongside of the legendary Tony Todd, which is going to be in theaters, on demand, and digital June 9th. Starting with you, man. Let's talk about the project. When you got the call, when did you have to how did you kind of weigh the option between saying yes and knowing what you were going to do with this film? Just stay with all the thoughts there.
Hey man, I dreamed it. And it's crazy because for a lot of my projects, I dream them. I see the characters. I
Yeah.
hear the voices. Even if it's a woman, I'm playing every character, So that's how I came up with it. And one day I saw this guy with this golf outfit on, and that's how I came up with the look.
Yeah.
I wear a lot of suits, or I used to wear a lot of suits. So I wanted, even though he's scary, I still wanted him to be fly.
Yeah.
And I feel like, the outfit is fly and the hat is fly too. So yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to be the new age Candyman. And then the movie came back. The movie came back, and then I was so honored to have Tony play my father, man. So it all came around what they say full circle.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I definitely want to talk about you two's relationship and bond throughout the film. I'm glad you brought up the costume design. I thought for sure I was like, yeah, I can see cosplayers getting ready to jump all over this now. This is definitely dope. It's unlike anything I've seen. Yeah, it's menacing, but it is fly. And I
Yeah.
also think that it also does have like it has like a horror aspect to it, but it also seems to have like a tribute towards that southern look within New Orleans and the deep down south. So I really like the combination of how everything came together with it, and I thought the first reveal was done very well. But yeah, to talk about you and Tony, yeah, having him a part of this film. His name is always going to be synonymous within horror.
Mhm.
Working with him because absolutely puts your name in that speech as well too. What was the conversation you had him being with upon working with him in this film, and what were some of the things you learned from him?
Well, this isn't our first time working together. We worked on two other movies together.
Okay.
So, we knew each other. Well, I knew him more than he knew me. But it was kind of like when he saw me, he was like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. Yeah, I know your face,
Yeah,
and I'm like that a lot. I might not know your name, but I remember your face.
yeah,
And honestly, man, the conversations that we had, it was just like not even about acting. It was just about life and just having real conversations.
yeah,
A lot of times people feel like we got to talk about the industry. Nah, let's talk about some real stuff. I'm a real dude, you're a real dude or a real woman. Let's just talk about something else. We're here 13, 14 hours.
yeah.
But a lot of times when people see Tony, they get a little intimidated by him.
Yeah, right.
And first of all, you do think about Candyman because of his voice.
Yeah,
I'm 6'4" and I think he's 6'5".
yeah,
So, just have two big, tall, scary dudes having a conversation is iconic by itself. And I was so happy because it wasn't, I didn't have no pool in it. The producers talked to his manager, and his manager, said, yeah, they gave us a green light. And he came on, he was there for one day, he did his thing, and the rest is history, man. And I'm just
yeah.
Man, I saw the trailer when you guys saw the trailer.
That's
So
what's up.
as soon as that Lionsgate came on, I think that first time I just cried, man, because I was just so happy to be a part of something that's legendary, and it's gonna be legendary, and it's gonna be the new face of horror. And I've always pictured that and thought about that for myself.
Yeah. Congratulations on that. As I said, I enjoyed the film. And then there's the other aspect of it, like, God damn, now we got another one I got to work through for another 30 years or so. And with that too, you're a man with granular plans here. I want to talk just the step forward because, folks, when you check out this film, there's a lot that happens. You get the backstory. You really connect with the trauma. And I think everyone can connect with the trauma, but especially anyone who's Black, you're absolutely going to. There's particular parts of the film that is going to really, really have you emotionally invested.
Yeah,
And then when you see sort of the beginning of this new generation, as you say, new generation Candyman, but the slasher nonetheless, and out for revenge, you start to have a little bit of a conflict in terms of who's the good guy, who's the bad guy.
exactly.
And I love that.
Exactly.
I love
And
that. I love
you know what, man, to be honest with you, it kind of reminds me of Emmett Till.
yeah,
How if Emmett Till's mom could have brought him back, that's what it would have been. You know, I know if my mom could do something like that, she would have done it.
yeah.
Any good mother who loves their innocent child because he was innocent, and for
Mm-hmm.
them to do what they did, I'm getting mad myself right now. And
Mm-hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
them to do what they did to him, it was not right because the only thing he did was have love for them, for that
Yep.
family.
Yep.
So, you know, when it got to me doing the slashing and all that other stuff, I really felt it because, we have so many people getting killed today over nonsense. And that's exactly how Baron died because of
Yeah.
nonsense, because somebody else in somebody's ear and because they can't handle their liquor type thing.
Yeah, and I think to add additional context to that too, I mean, and again, I don't want to take away some of the elements for folks, but there's a minor time jump here. And with that time jump came a milestone. And with that, it appeared that nothing had changed aesthetically, but legally things have changed, but actually did it? And then you start to put that into perspective about today. As you mentioned, you start saying, like, well, how much time has passed from that period to now? How much has
Right.
changed? Almost nothing. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So
Because
like
we see it on the news every day.
yeah. So I think that this was a good story in order to really hit some of the horror tropes, but also tell and in the movie's way a piece of history in a way that's very significant that really connects everything that happened. And I can even argue, talking about the recent Candyman. Although I had to like really cover my eyes from the original, so it was a little bit of a step to watch the new ones now. But I think it's the same conflict in terms of like who's really the bad guy here. I hated that dude for
Yeah.
years, but then I watched the new one. I'm just kind of like, oh God.
And they cut some scenes out that I didn't really want them to cut out.
Mm-hmm.
That something that happened to his mom,
Oh,
to
come on
Devilreaux's
now.
mom, with those guys. And
Yeah,
they didn't feel like it was the time to do it, but I'm like, why not? So,
yeah,
but yeah, you see that's he knew
mm,
that too. So of
mm.
course he's just gonna go crazy when he come
Yeah,
back.
yeah, man. That's yeah. I know for the sake of the interview here, I know we got time soon, but we talk about this for hours and hours here. Hey, let's talk about the costume again. From the prep, and sitting in the chair, makeup and everything. What's sort of the turnaround time getting you fully suited up?
You know what? It's not as long as people think. It
Hmm.
didn't take long at all because it's a mask.
Okay.
So
It's
yeah, it
really
was just
good.
me pretty much. Well, not me. I need some help getting that thing on, putting it on, and of course putting like little touch ups here and there. And the only thing that we end up not doing is me putting the contacts in because I damn near went blind on the
Mm,
set one time with the blood and the dirt. So
hmm
I couldn't put them in because I had to go to the emergency. So I
mm.
mean, it probably would have been cool, but I think they might have, they can do the movie magic and put contacts in.
Easy.
But yeah, it didn't take long at all. I
Yeah.
actually showed this earlier. This is what came from the mask. So
Nice.
Yeah, so this is where it all came from. So just putting the mask on and putting the clothes on and going out there doing my thing.
Doing your thing, man. Listen, I can tell you're very proud about this one. I thoroughly enjoyed it. As a fan of yours for a long time, I was very excited to see your name attached to this project. And I had not known that you and Tony had worked together. So I will have to go back and look in the catalog a little bit here and find it. But the one thing I want to ask you before we wrap up here is thinking forward, as I mentioned, folks, this sets a background story, sets a good foundation things potentially to come. If you were in the writer's room, and hopefully if there is a sequel, you're brought into the writer's room because I said you're a man with granular ideas. Where do you want this story to go? Do you want to kind of stay current in this timeline? Would you like to jump forward some? Where you want a different location? What you thinking?
Well, I co-wrote this. They just didn't say I co-wrote it.
Oh,
All the
excuse me, folks.
all the 1800 stuff is my words. Every single last word from when I was dreaming about this. So, I like to put that out there because, hey, give me my credit.
Yeah, right.
But it would probably definitely have to be forward though.
Yeah.
Definitely forward. And my hope, my dream, my faith, my everything is for it to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just like Jigsaw, just like Jason, just like Michael Myers. Devilreaux got some stories to tell too.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it. Folks, another on the, as I always like to say, on the next episode of play stupid games, win stupid prizes, is folks out here playing with Devilreaux, who's ready to get out there and become this next legendary slasher. You can check out this film in theaters, demand, and digital June 9th. Vincent, it's a pleasure to talk to you, man. And I absolutely and hopefully ensure that we get to talk about the story down the line. Because now that I know that you was a writer, which they need to make sure they put some respect on that, because I did not see that. So my apologies, but I'll make sure I'll get the word out.
Are you in
sure
DC?
I am, brother.
I was there in DC doing the play New Jack City. We came there twice.
Word.
Yeah. So
okay.
Appreciate you, man.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you so much, everybody, for checking out this interview. And we'll be back for more very soon. Thank you.
Peace.
Thanks.